Welcome everybody to this edition of Attention Talk Video. I'm your host, ADHD and Attention Coach Jeff Copper. And our topic today is an ADHD tip. We're talking about packing. So often I've coached those with ADD, and packing can be a real difficult problem for them because, they put it off, they procrastinate, they oftentimes they're missing things left and right, and it's just a real source of a problem. And one of the things that I've learned is that it requires a fair amount of executive functioning to pack because you actually have to pause and begin to think about what you need to take, and it requires a fair amount of effort. And if you're spending a lot of time using your executive functioning brain in order to pack, what it does is it depletes the fuel, if you will, of that brain, and you can't use it for other things in your life, and so it becomes a real drain. So I wanted to share something that my older son and I used to do when he was in Scouts, and this is our backpack or our camping list. And my son and I used to do a fair amount of car camping, which is basically you go to a campsite, you drive into a car with the Boy Scouts or even ourselves, and you just kind of throw everything out of your car and you do that. We also did a lot of backpacking, probably got about 500 miles on the Appalachian Trail. And the things that you need to take for car camping are very different from what you need to take for backpack camping. And so what we did is we made a list, and literally it's 2 pages, and it's every piece of camping gear that we would need in the house, which, by the way, our camping gear is spread out all over the place. Some of it's in the bathroom if it's toiletries, some of it's in the attic, some of it's in closets, and so it's diverse. And what we would do is we'd actually print this list off, one for him and one for me, and the first thing we would do is we'd go through and cross off the list everything that we don't need. So if we're going backpacking, we usually, if we pack everything in our backpack if we're going backpacking, but if we go car camping, we usually put it in tubs. So in that situation, you'd cross off the tub. But one of the things I would make sure is I got my backpack. I would make sure I got my backpacking tent, not my regular tent, my backpacking mat, which is much lighter and much easier. And I think as you can see, I also need my hiking poles, my hiking boots, and those types of things. So the cool part about the list is I don't have to remember what to take. It's already there. All I have to do is cross off everything that I don't need, and what's left is my list. So when I have that, it's really simple. My son and I would just go around the house. He'd have his pile, and I'd have my pile. You go on the list, and you systematically grab everything that you need. You throw it into that pile, and then when it's there, then you just pack it. Whether if it's backpacking, we'd pack that. If it was car camping, we'd pack that. The only thing that's not on the list is food, which is a separate discussion and entity. But for the most part, as you can see, with 2 pages, single spaced at 10 font, there's a lot of gear that's here. And I like to use this, give this tip to those with ADHD because whether you're packing for a vacation or packing for a business trip or packing for school or anything you can do, it makes it really easy. You don't have to remember what to take. You just have to cross off what you're not. So I hope you enjoyed this tip in this edition of Attention Talk Video. Take care.